guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessie and today I'm back with another video all about my prison pen pal experience. I have done quite a few of these videos already. I will link them all down below for you in case you want to check those out as well. But basically, I have had a bunch of questions all about the process of writing to prisoners. So I get a lot of questions on how do you find the prisoners? How do you choose the right person to write to? How many people should I write to? What do I put in my first letter? So I will be answering all those questions for you today. So there's many different types of platforms that you can use to actually search for these prisoners that are looking for a pen pal. The most commonly used one that I know of is called writeaprisoner.com. I'm sure there are many other platforms out there, but this is definitely the biggest one in America. So when I personally started writing to prisoners, I still lived in England, and so the first thing I did was try to find a website that would allow me to write to prisoners in England or in Europe in general, let's say. But many of them had very strict restrictions and rules, and just it seemed like a lot more work than I wanted to put in at an 18-year-old age. So I found writeaprisoner.com and decided that I was going to communicate with American prisoners, which seemed a lot more straightforward. You just had to be 18 basically. So the first thing, again, I always mention this in my videos, please make sure you're of age, because it is not appropriate to be writing to someone in jail if you are not an adult. People keep asking me how to choose which prisoners to write to. Now, I don't have like a black and white answer for this. I'm sure everybody has different kind of scenarios that they're looking for, whether it's friendship, you know, a romantic relationship, they only want to speak to females, they only want to speak to males, they want to speak to someone that has not done violent crimes. Like, everyone's gonna have different preferences on this. I didn't want to separate people by their crime initially. I just wanted to pick 5 or 6 random people, like completely random. Like, I didn't care the gender, I didn't care age, what state they were in. Like, I didn't really search anything in the criteria bar, you know, to narrow my search. It was very random, and me personally, I just kind of felt like no matter what people are in jail for, like, everyone on this website is looking for a friend of some sort. That's why they've registered on Write a Prisoner. One could be inside for a very violent crime that they committed 40 years ago, and now they are, you know, a pretty reformed person who just wants conversation. Like, I wouldn't want to exclude them based on a very old sentence. Write a Prisoner gives you a brief, like, 1 or 2 word sentence regarding what they were charged with. But after I had actually chosen my random people, I did do a little bit of research about the people just beforehand. So although I said my searches were random and I wanted to pick people without, let's say, narrowing down the search engine, the only criteria I had is that I didn't want to talk to people who were inside for being a pedophile, or pedophile I think you guys call it in America. But that was the only thing that I was very uncomfortable with, and I just couldn't really stomach talking to someone that was in for that. When I opened the tabs of these 5 or 6 original people, one of them was actually a pedophile, so I literally just X'd it out and found one more person. I really wanted to focus on their profile and what they were personally sharing about themselves, and not the case. Like, although I did research it, I really tried not to obsess about it or get too far into it, let's say. I really wanted to give them kind of like a fair chance of just, you know, being themselves and talking to me, and if they ever brought up their case, I'd be happy to, you know, listen or talk about it or whatever. But I didn't ever want to focus the conversation on their case or why they were, you know, sentenced. You don't personally know how much work these people have been putting in inside prison to reform themselves and, you know, to become better people. A lot of these people have been in prison for like 30 years or something, and they've, you know, now got 3 degrees, and they run, you know, self-help groups, and they're just, you know, they're trying to be a better person. I just wanted to kind of give them the chance to build a friendship in me without, you know, that prior judgment, let's say. So in terms of the profiles, I like to think of it as like a modern day dating website. When you are writing the first letter, I would say really focus on their profile, look at the things that they list, and just really make a big effort to talk about their interests. Some people had their poems that they had created. Some people had pictures of their artwork. For example, Michael had like 3 or 4 pictures of his artwork on his writerprisoner.com profile. He had a bit of, you know, information about the fact that he liked art, and then the fact that he had his art pieces as well. It gave me something to really discuss and, you know, compliment him on, and, you know, ask him about his techniques and what he likes to paint and stuff. In the first half of the letter, I would say introduce yourself. Tell them literally like all the background. Like, imagine you're on a first date, everything that you would want them to know that's like not too personal, but like enough to give them a good sense of who you are. So for me, I talked to them about the fact that I'm from England, and the fact that I had just finished college, and that I was hoping to travel and go to America, and that I loved art and photography and all the countries I've been to, and that, you know, but I don't know, that I love to read. Like, I seemed pretty boring back then. Not much has changed actually. And then the second half, address their profile, ask questions about their interests, you know, compliment them if they have anything up there like the artwork or writing poems, etc. And, you know, just ask them questions. Like, I wouldn't ever ask them questions about their case in the first letter, or ever. Like I said, if they want to talk about it, let them bring it up. Like, I don't think it's really appropriate, because it can really just put like a barrier up right away to that friendship. Just ask them questions like about their family, about what they do inside. Ask them if they have a job, if they, you know, have a favorite type of food. I don't know, like, you know, just get to know them. Keep it very light and casual. I've had quite a few people message me and seem to panic about what to say or how much to say. Like, it doesn't matter. You could write, you know, half a page or 10 pages. They are going to appreciate someone reaching out to them. Obviously, the more you write, probably the more interest they're going to have in you. So definitely put some effort into it. Really make it seem like you are genuine, and just hope for the best. This is just an example. This was maybe like a year or so into writing to Michael. So this is a 4-page letter. Both sides have been fully written on. I feel like getting an actual letter in the mail is way more exciting than an email. Most people ask for a photo of you in that first letter. They are trying to, you know, picture who they're writing to, picture who they're getting to know, basically. So I would say don't jump to conclusions and immediately assume that they are, you know, asking for dirty photos. Kind of try and put yourselves in their position. Like, if they're trying to get to know someone and they have no idea what you look like, it is a lot harder to build that rapport with someone. Whereas, like, even for me personally, like, when I chose the people on the Writer Prisoner website, they do usually have 1 or 2 pictures of themselves, but they're usually pretty old pictures, because, you know, in prison it's not like they have cameras and they take pictures all the time. It's typically only when they need them for their files, and it gets updated. For them, you know, they have never seen that initial picture of us, so they have no idea. And not that it matters what we look like, but it is harder to, you know, write to someone that you have no image of. Like, it just is. So a lot of people have been asking me like how to navigate the whole sending photos thing, and that's just probably my advice, is just to let it happen naturally. You know, yes, there are people out there that probably want your picture for not so good intentions, you know, but I would just say give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I think that's everything. But like I said at the start of this video, what is comfortable for me might not be comfortable for you. So please don't focus on how I did this or how I, you know, set my boundaries. And whatever you're comfortable with is what you should stand by. And like, don't, you know, don't like feel bad that you don't want to talk to a certain person. Like, again, because that's your choice. Like, you're choosing to reach out to these people and making that decision to try and build a friendship. So like, it's perfectly okay if you don't want to speak to a certain person. On that note, I'm gonna go because I'm talking too much. But if you guys have any questions or anything else you'd like me to discuss regarding the whole writer prisoner pen pal world, just comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful and informative, and I'll see you in the next video.